Watercooler.
That's extra bass. I like it. Hello and welcome back to Watercooler. We're going a day earlier than usual because we can't take it anymore. We got a pod. We got to do it now. You know how the show goes. All right, Chris Loxamana, kick it with my Corolla digital buds, like Mike Dawson.
Aloha and hello.
Aloha and hello to you and welcome back.
Welcome.
Can't wait to hear about your trip to Dawson.
I'll tell you some things.
Gary Smith's here.
What's up?
What's up? And Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Returns, yes.
Yeah.
Been
back.
too long, Matt. It's only been a week, huh? It feels
a very long week.
Was it long enough?
Chris, backtrack there real quick. It's been too long. Nah, maybe not.
Well, no, just
only a
now I'm
week.
thinking in my head, I'm like, we were only gone 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And a meetup.
Oh, and maybe that's why. I'm like, I feel like you've missed a lot.
What about my contributions around this place daily? I wasn't thinking so much of missing 2 shows so much as what are they going to do while I'm gone?
You work here?
How is this place going to survive?
We figured it out.
Yeah, you guys did.
I only think about what you do on Watercooler. I don't
Remember how we got
everything else.
a shelf to replace Dylan?
It's a
We
it's
did.
a
Cubby.
bookcase.
It was a
We did an
cubby.
IKEA run.
It was a bookcase, Dawson. How dare you?
I was wondering why my front door was blocked by a Billy bookcase.
Well, anyway, it's good to have you back.
Thanks. You guys did a pretty good job without me.
Wow.
I do have some Matzner fondments, though.
You couldn't whip up a song? How hard is it to whip up a song?
I can't. Oh
Massive
man, we got to get
fondants.
into that. I can't wait to get into those.
like
yeah,
it.
and we got a lot to get into. I mean, Dawson was in Dawson. Matt was in Lake Tahoe.
Yep.
I was in Baltimore.
I was
Philly.
at Dome.
Yeah, Gary was at Dome. Yeah,
That's good.
Should we tell Matt about our meetup? We did it a little unusual.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what happened.
Oh, yeah. So last week we had the Malo meetup. And remember, if anybody wants to join that tier, just go to watercooler.com/Patreon.
No,
Probably not going to help you.
No.
Probably not going to get you very far,
That's
though.
not
Do
it.
not go to that website.
Take 2.
Woo.
Chris had a long weekend.
We had nothing.
Dude, Friday's my first day off in like a month. Go to
Speaking of which.
patreon.com/watercooler and just join the tier. We have a lot of perks. One is you get an extra podcast a week. 2, you can, if you want the video tier, it's available for you. And also we do monthly Zoom meetups and movie nights and things like that. And it's really fun. And we did our meetup on Thursday and had a blast.
Yeah, it was a little different than what we've done in the past. This time, we basically linked it up with our Patreon episode for that week, and we did the meetup, and then we just muted all the people that were there, and they were able to stay on the Zoom and watch us record the episode live.
Wow, so it was like a live podcast for a digital audience only.
Right.
I didn't like it.
Chris didn't like it because our listeners are funny, and I had a computer in front of me.
Yeah.
and they
Gary,
would type
Gary
stuff
was
into
not
the
paying
chat.
attention to the
Gary
show.
was so
That's-
distracted.
He just kept
and he's
reading the
giggling. I'm
comments.
telling stories,
Yeah.
and like it's not a funny part of the story, and I just hear
Yeah.
giggling from Gary. I'm like, Gary, what is going on over there?
No
it's
eye
because he's reading
contact.
their comments. Yeah, he's just
Well, I haven't listened to that episode yet, but I'm getting the notepad ready. I'm sure I'm going to
Yeah,
have
there-
a lot of fondments. Matzner fondments.
a lot of Matzner fondments.
Yeah.
It was a really fun show. I'm glad
Yeah.
we did it, and can't wait for the next one. Chris Cottle. All right, let's see. We have some actual comments here, but first I want to hear about your trips. Let's start with Dawson and Dawson. What happened?
Oh, God, what a fucking weekend, dude.
That's a good sign.
Roll out to Austin. Got there at landed at 1:30. Straight to P. Terry's. Keith Eichard picked us up. Keith listens to this show.
What's up, Keith?
And Keith picked us up. We went to P. Terry's. Got some burgers. And then
Which location? We go down 6th Street one? Or?
Not the 6th Street one.
Okay.
There's another one like in this weird island with 2 drive-thrus that goes around it, but there's a window you can walk up and order to, and then they got a
Interesting.
picnic.
What
area
did you
can
do?
eat at.
You drive through, you walk up.
Walk up.
Yeah, sometimes
Usually the way to go.
Yeah.
I've heard from multiple In-N-Out employees, even though the line looks line at the drive-thru, go to the drive-thru because we give priority to the drive-thru. So
Well,
it
we were
actually
gonna
goes faster.
We were gonna eat in the little patio
Oh, okay.
area. So
I thought you meant I forgot you
Yeah.
can eat there.
So then I went and chilled a little before the show. Got a little nap on Keith's couch, and
Is that like a hotel that you guys stay at?
no, Keith's couch sounds like it should be though.
Yeah.
And played a show to, we had about 50 people in front of the stage.
That's chill.
Damn.
That's great.
Which was like, thank God.
Yeah.
And it was funny the way it worked out. I had this, my friend Tom Mexto from San Diego that I used to work in radio with. He saw the thing on Facebook, and he's got family in Austin. He's got nephews and nieces. And so he just told his wife, we're going to Austin. We're going to go see Dawson's band play. And he brought out 10 people, and they parked themselves immediately in front of the stage before the show even started, so that when people are now coming by and walking in, they see a crowd in front of the stage, and they think something good's going on in there. And they're not afraid to come up to the stage.
Parked people, it's a crowd generator. It should
Yeah.
be a service that
Yeah.
you provide to other bands.
It was big time. We
You just came up
played
with a movie idea here, Chris.
We played a killer set.
Also invented Fiverr.
Some Bobos from the Pacific Northwest were there. Some local Austinites were there. And then we went out to a dive bar after the show, and a place called Deep Eddie's Cabaret.
How many non-dive bars are in Austin? Seems like a pretty
Couple. There's a few.
diving place.
No,
Okay.
there's a few. In fact, the place we were playing at is a non-dive bar. It's it's on the nice end of 6th instead of dirty 6th. Which, when we did the Corolla show, we were on dirty 6th.
Ah, yes.
And that's where you want to play music. I want to go back there and get a show in the dirty part of town.
Nice.
But so go to this dive bar afterwards, and fucking ran into a musician that I had on front of house. I ran into Jonathan Tyler at this dive bar.
Who recognized whom?
I recognized him, and then he remembered who I was, but I was probably pretty wasted at this point, so I might have scared him a little bit. It happens. And so sometime in between the car and the bar, my phone fell out of my pocket. I didn't realize it until I wanted to take a picture with Jonathan Tyler. Couldn't find my phone. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm screwed. Looking everywhere, asking bartenders, looking at the car, in the car. It just put a total damper on the night. But a couple of Ted Russell Camp and Shooter Jennings fans were there, these older ladies, like 58 and 68 years old. And they were super fucking cool. One of them's dad used to play with Waylon back in the day, Waylon Jennings. And so we were hanging out with them. And
I think you just say Waylon.
yeah. Well, I figure there are some people who may not know. But then if you say Waylon and they don't know, I don't think Waylon Jennings is going to help.
Yeah. Matt just thought you said Smithers' first name wrong.
Right. So these wonderful older ladies said to me, how many guys need a place to crash? And I'm like, there's 3 of us. And they're like, well, we've got a fold-out couch in our hotel room and an extra little piece of couch. Why don't you guys come and stay with us? So these old ladies put us up for the night, and we hung out and partied with them all day Saturday. I bought them lunch, bought them drinks to say thank you, and met 2 of my new best friends in the world are these old ladies.
What are their names?
Ziggy and Ruth.
Yeah.
And I called Ruth Ruthless. She was a killer. And so anyway, turns out that Ziggy is a major Midwest promoter and has gigs for the band everywhere in the Ozarks, Kansas City, Mississippi, all over the place, around the South and Midwest. And she loved the band, and she's flying me out in a couple months to go to the Ozarks and check out her property where we're going to play some festival. She is going to route us
go to
on
the
a
strip
tour
club. I'll
through
tell you
there.
about. Okay.
Okay. She's going to route us on a tour through there. And
Wait, her name's Ruth.
No,
Oh my
Ziggy.
God! But she knows
Ziggy's
a
the
Ruth
booger.
in the Ozarks.
But she knows Ruthie?
yeah,
I know a casino that they
Dawson.
Actually, Ruth lives in Kansas City.
Stay away from. Oh,
Ziggy lives in the Ozarks.
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
So,
That's like season 3.
so anyway,
They better not
the
know
whole
Mexican
point,
meats.
the whole point of this wonderful recollection that you're enjoying so much is, had I not lost my phone, none of this shit would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I am so grateful that I lost my phone, fell into a pile of shit, and came out smelling like roses.
Yeah.
And it was
In
a
the
big
meantime-
night for the band. The club was happy. We all played great. You know how it is, Chris, when you're playing with your dudes on the stage and you look at each other and you just see smiles.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking smiling, having the best time of their lives.
I think you need to write a song about this, and you need to add it to the concert repertoire. Because, first of all, you've said that you need a longer set. I've heard you talking about that before. So this will help putting a new song in, because everyone wants to go to a concert and then hear the band talk about like that one crazy night on tour that they all had. And there's all kinds of inside jokes and stuff, and no one really knows what's going on, but you can tell the band's having a good time.
We did all that. We had a killer time. And Ziggy, the younger of the older ladies, Ziggy had a lot of substance with her. We're running out to her car and smoking joints. And
Wow.
stayed up a little late. And had a really, really, really fucking good time with my two new best friends.
I'm so stoked.
Guys, Dawson had a threesome with these chicks, right?
I mean, it sounds like
He's
a
not
porno.
saying
It really
but like,
does.
I don't know if you guys are sensing that, but
No, they are. They
that's all I'm
were
hearing.
they're just fucking like Band-Aids, like almost famous.
yeah, that's
They just took care of us. No, it's
Yeah,
different.
what-
It's not groupies, Band-Aids, brother.
yep.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
have I.
And
Dawson,
just
have you seen the movie?
They have their own set of rules. They're very clear about it.
really good chicks.
Was Kate Hudson a Band-Aid or a groupie?
I forget
They
it.
were all Band-Aids.
The character
Nice. Dude, well,
No, just complete awesomeness.
That's
And we'll
amazing,
be playing the South Midwest sooner than later.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone
She's
keep an eye
lining
out.
us up for festivals, and she's like, "Look, I got a couple rules. Number one, I book all your travel. Okay, good rule. I'll follow that. Number two, no wedding bands on stage." And I'm like,
All right.
and I'm like, what, like a cover band? You don't want us playing with a cover band? She goes, no, wedding rings. She's like, girls want you to be single. I don't care if any of you are married. You're not wearing your rings. And
yeah,
I'm like, I
I'm-
love you.
I'm gonna have to break that to Jenny. She is. Yeah, I'm Gary Talks. How do I do this? Like, how do I?
You don't. That's what happens. You
So
don't
good,
do
though.
it.
Such a
you were
great
3.
time. And then, we went to more dive bars throughout the day. We went back to the scene of the crime the next night. But, I mean, there were 5 of us and 2 old ladies, 5 of us sleeping in a hotel room. No snoring, no fighting.
Just fucking.
Just fucking. It was like we were acting like we were lifelong friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody totally got along. And again, if I didn't lose my phone, none of this would have happened.
Dude.
So what's that digital device in front of you that very
Yeah.
much
My
resembles
spare
the phone?
phone.
Do we have to go back to the non-work number now?
No, I'm getting the new one delivered tomorrow.
Happy accident, though. I mean, you lose your phone and all this amazing stuff happened. Meanwhile, David Geffen found Dawson's phone. And she's like, ooh, this.
No, so we'll be playing festivals in the Ozarks and a few other festivals she's got us lined up for. She wants to fly me out for a recon mission.
Dude.
I'll go play some solo acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
And she, and we'll check it out. But she's got acreage on one of the lakes
Yeah.
and a dog rescue job. So she's got like 30 dogs on her property.
Sick.
So
Bunch of dogs
we're
on
gonna go.
property by the lake of the Ozarks. Is she a drug dealer?
No,
Yeah.
she's
They're all
a drug
Rottweilers.
provider, but not a dealer.
Okay. Well, good on you, man. Thank you, Ziggy
congrats.
and Ruth. Nice to meet you all through Dawson, and that's great, man. Give it up.
They're
for
listening,
Dawson.
right?
Yes.
I'm sure you talk a lot about the water cooler.
That was all I
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
You
They're
think my
gonna
band is good.
they're booking us live pods, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went to this, I forget what the name of the bar was, but it was right on this creek in Austin. And we drank Lone Stars
Yes.
and ordered chicken fried steaks and just, got drunk before we had to go to the airport. And, man, everyone in Texas is so damn nice.
It just fits you too. Like
That's
that
just-
sounds like
I
your
fucking
your
love that
vibe,
place, man.
You know,
It was good.
I've never slept on a fold-out couch I liked.
I had one of the best nights
Stick
to
to
sleep.
the clothing
I was
drawer.
totally comfortable. This was a good, it was like an Embassy Suites type deal. Yeah, totally comfortable.
I'd much rather just sleep on it as a couch with a thick, because once you fold it out, it feels like you're sleeping on a chain link fence with a sheet on it.
Well, I had to sleep next to Izzy, and I bring earplugs. So I'm sharing a bed with Izzy, and through the earplugs, I hear him start to snore. And I just give him one of those fucking back nudges. Like, I just fucking slam my back into him. And he wakes up, and I go, oh, sorry, dude. And he stops snoring.
Were you guys sleeping back to back or butt to nut?
Dick to dick.
Dick to dick.
Yeah, we sleep dick to dick.
Hey, you got to work on those configurations, or you could just go shoebox style, like head and toe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. There are multiple ways to sleep.
No, we're good. Number one, the band travels well together. We've thrown 5 dudes in a room.
Yeah,
and we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter,
Gary. This is what I'm talking about. Are you reading comments right now?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And, I'm listening to the show.
No,
you want me to go back to reading comments?
It was great. It was a ton of fun, and thanks to everybody who came out.
Yeah, we'll get into it, but some commenters actually posted that they came out.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah,
Wow.
so we'll talk about that. Matt,
Yeah, what's up, man?
what about you and Lake Tahoe? How was your week?
Dude, Lake Tahoe was absolutely incredible. You guys will hear all about it over the next several installments of Chez Fond du Lac.
I asked
we
Matt.
did a lot of great food.
I walked in. I'm like, Matt, you got Shane? Goes, I got Shane for days.
Yeah, you know what I didn't ask today, Chris? I did not ask Matt because I know that he's just been writing this whole trip.
Of course.
What's on the menu? It's
How many
it's a
Post-its did
cheesecake
you bring?
I
factory.
have 2, but I
menu.
wrote on 2 sides of one of them, so there's a lot. But the overview of it was my wife and I were there for a week. We had our own, basically like a two-story hotel room. So there was like a kitchenette, living room downstairs, and then upstairs just bedroom, 2 bathrooms. And
That's an apartment.
And a balcony. Yeah, it was like a little apartment.
Yeah.
With a lake view of Lake Tahoe. We were there for a whole week, and just during the day would go
Balcony?
on. Yeah, had a nice balcony.
Nice.
Go out for little day hikes, and then just come home and have a bunch of drinks and go out for great dinners. And
Did you go in the water?
no, I didn't go in the water.
You
It
didn't
was
even
so
dip your
cold.
toe?
I touched
Super
it with
cold.
my
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
I touched
Yeah.
it. Our last day that we were there, we went on a Tahoe sunset cruise where
Nice.
they take you out on the water.
Booze cruise?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yes.
That's implied.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
But it was really an incredible trip, and it was super relaxing, and especially because I haven't been to Mammoth in a few years, it really kind of filled that void. It's very
you like
similar.
Mammoth?
Did you get some snow?
I do love Mammoth.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
I stepped out at
lots
the
of
wrong
snow.
moment. Chris,
Did it snow at all while you were
No,
there?
no. While we
Okay.
were there, it was like a crisp Los Angeles winter day. It was
Love
like
it.
60 degrees,
Perfect.
blue skies the whole time. Really, we couldn't have asked for a better trip.
That lake is so cold it hurts during the summer.
I can only
I
imagine.
can only imagine what
Yeah.
it feels like in the winter.
Well, it's a huge lake for people who don't know. It's like 22 miles long. And it's right on the sort of elbow between California and Nevada. So half of it's in Nevada and half of it's in California. And it takes a few hours to get all the way around the lake. So we kind of just broke it up over the course of different day trips. We kind of spent one day on the east side of the lake, one day on the west side of the lake. One day we went all the way up to the northern part of it.
North Shore.
Yeah, but
Sounds
do
like-
the east side and west side hate each other?
they do. They
Yeah.
feud. They
Big ol'
snap
feud.
fingers when they get close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Those are the real serious games
Yeah.
that they walk down the street just snapping
Yeah.
as they're looking at each other. I'm worried about that.
so were you guys doing like long drives to each hike? Was it like,
The day that we tried to go to the north part of the area, that took a full hour, and then we didn't realize it, but the entire trail was completely snowed out. Like, you couldn't get onto the trailhead, so that was a complete waste of time.
It's from what I remember, the north part of Lake Tahoe is a little Richie Rich.
Definitely.
That's where the ski resort North Star is. One of the nicest and most expensive ski resorts you can fucking hit. But yeah, it's like that.
There was a Ritz-Carlton that I was sold on us going to just so we could go to the bar and pretend like we stayed there. But
Nice.
we ended up not making it to that place. It was, 2.5 hours from where we were staying. It just wasn't worth it. But most of the hikes that we did were on the southern part where we were, and that was like 25, 30 minutes.
That's not bad.
Took only to go a couple miles, but it's all really windy roads. You have to go kind of slow. So
What kind of footwear did you wear?
I got some new like snow boots, basically.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, 'cause
Quality footwear.
Did you
Yeah,
even bring
really
your
cool.
flip-flops?
I did, because there was a hot tub. So,
Got it.
Lord knows we did that
You know,
for every hike.
there's a guy on TikTok. He's been making the rounds, and he has this dog, this old decrepit dog that could barely stand, right? And he goes, "It's today a bones day or a no bones day?" And that tells everybody if they're gonna have a good day or not. And he basically just stands the dog up, and if the dog could stand on its own after he like lifts him up, we got a bones day. It's gonna be a good day. And the dog just slams back onto its belly. It's a no bones day, but either way, we gotta have a positive attitude and get through this together.
Yeah.
And I do that with your shoes. Is today
Oh.
open toe day or closed toe day? And today is
Interesting.
actually closed toe day. Matt is wearing closed toed shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, now
it
it's
was
off.
Picture
It's
day.
done
Today's
now,
picture
right?
Day.
Oh, because it's picture
do
day?
not-
Yeah.
Oh, you were wearing like a
But-
colored shirt earlier,
Yeah,
too.
for picture day.
Isn't the rule you can't go back to flip flops until
Yeah.
spring now? You're in.
You're committed.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like 80 degrees in a couple
Pod
days.
committed, bro.
I don't
No.
know.
You really?
We'll
no,
see.
you could go open toe.
We'll
I'm
see.
just saying. So
we'll
we
see.
can have an open toe day tomorrow. But I'm glad you had a good trip. I can't wait to hear about the food you ate
Yes.
and the cocktails I'm sure you drank.
Oh, absolutely. There are some great stories I will share with you over the next few episodes.
All right. Well, you guys want to do some comments real
Yes.
quick? Do you want to start with Matt's?
Yeah,
But
real quick.
Can
They're
I
quick.
play? Can I
They're
still
real
just
quick.
play the? Oh, damn it, Gary.
Oh, you're scared of the claw.
All right, here we go. Some comments.
It's time for listener.
All right, Matt's and her fondments. Let's start it
All
off.
right, real quick. I just have a couple here. So, very early on in the show, Gary brought something up that happened on Fondleween, which was that my wife and I were out for a lovely dinner, which I will tell you guys about. We took a lot of pictures, and we settled on a picture that I thought was pretty good. So I texted it to my friends and said, "Happy Halloween." And then, talking to my wife, we were talking about whether or not it would be appropriate for me to actually post this picture on Twitter, which I did. And then Gary took a screenshot of my tweet, texted it to all of my friends, and said, "Look at Matt using his material on us, trying his material out."
Yeah.
You brought this up on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
Gary
you
thought
microwave
you sent
fish
him
or something.
Because I
Gary-
texted my friends before I
Before you
sent
sent
a
it to the
thing out to the
world.
world. And Chris, you brought up the idea. What if it had been the other way? What if Matt had tweeted it and then recycled it for the tweet? And
Way
Gary,
worse.
you said I would be fine with that. And I'm hurt, but also really just confused.
Yeah.
Because I would think the sincere thing to do would be to communicate with your friends first, and then you can blast the message out. But you're saying that you would have been less offended if I had tweeted it out, and then suddenly you got a text from one of your best friends that was identical to the tweet you just saw.
Yeah.
Still offended, but yes, less.
Wow.
I would still be offended.
All right.
Look,
I-
it's just the immediacy of it was, I think, what I didn't really appreciate.
That's what was so
You
jarring.
didn't make Gary feel special enough.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
about me. It was about all of us.
Dude,
it
let
was
me-
about the group.
Let me tell you, back I don't really. I mean, obviously, there are not a lot of big gatherings these days. Or it's been a while, but there was a time when group messaging, maybe even before group messaging was a big thing, and you would just copy and paste your invites to people. Like, hey, I'm having some people over on Saturday. Would love if you come. Just let me know. Blah blah blah. And then people get it, and you can tell it's a pasted message. And I knew people who would get upset, like he just sent everybody that.
Yeah.
Or if it was a group message, I don't know if I'm going to go on Saturday. Why not? Well, he didn't personally like invite me. Like people kind of need that personal touch, and you didn't give Gary that after
Well,
you tweeted it.
I'm glad you brought
ripped the
that up.
rug right out from under him.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because
wasn't just me.
I did personalize it. While Gary is claiming that the same message that went out to my friends went out to Twitter, he's incorrect. In fact, the tweet or the text that I sent you guys with the photo was very personal. Happy Halloween from Lake Tahoe versus the one that was tweeted out was just a more generic Happy Fondleween,
But the same picture.
but the same picture. All right, this is we're
Would have
going
been
in
nice to
circles
get a
here.
personalized photo there.
I should have gotten a different
It wasn't
picture.
for the 19,000 people that follow you on Twitter.
Yeah. I
You
think the,
cheapened it, Matt.
the moral of the story is I should stop texting Gary.
You got
Yes.
19,000 followers on Twitter?
Yeah, dude. It's
Wow.
wild.
What's that?
Jesus.
What's wrong with that?
Kicking my ass, dude.
You started 10 years after us.
Yeah.
It takes
But
time.
I've done 10 years of funny.
Also, I think that number is
Well, you
exaggerated.
just merely existed.
Hey, Dawson. Hey, Dawson.
Yeah.
Go change your Twitter profile right now to I've done 10 years of funny.
No.
These last two are not so much
quote.
comments as they are contributions.
Yeah.
You guys talked about sad boy songs of the 90s.
Sure.
Someone's putting a thing together. I just wanted to get my vote in. You guys did mention it, but I just need to second that Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton is the saddest fucking song ever written.
That's not really a
And the
sad
story
boy song.
behind
That's
it
not a
is so
sad boy
horrible.
song. That's about a kid who jumped out a window when he was like
That
3.
sounds like a pretty sad boy. to me.
It's
Awful.
That's a sad dad song.
It's a sad.
Dude,
it's a
it's
sad
like the
male song.
saddest
no,
song
it's
ever.
a super sad song. I think it might be just a touch cliche for sad songs.
It's not in the spirit of the playlist the guy's making, but it is the
What a
saddest song
horrible
there
playlist,
is.
by the way.
Yeah.
Good God.
Some-
All right, and then here's one more. I don't know if it counts because it's not technically a sad boy. It's a sad girl song that asks a very simple question.
Chris.
Damn it, Chris.
Am I not pretty enough?
He's too busy writing it down.
What are you doing,
It's all right.
Chris?
Don't worry.
I'm the one who's not listening.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right, it's fine. And then lastly, you guys were talking about candy corn, and Dawson, you had asked, has there ever been a candy corn cereal before? And I want to let
Feels
you
like,
guys know, I did some research. Back in 2001, October 2001, Kellogg's released 3 different Halloween cereals. One of them, you mentioned candy corn. You guys are familiar with the cereal Corn Pops. They made candy corn pops.
Corn Pops are great.
Matt, the country was reeling. The
I know,
towers
we really
had just
needed it.
fallen.
We really needed this. They also had Jack-o'-lantern Apple Jacks, which Apple Jack-o'-lanterns was right there. What are
Yeah.
they doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the third one, they got
Jack-
real lazy. They were just called Creepy Rice Krispies. Again, just Rice Krispies would have
gave
been
up.
so much better.
It was give him a break, dude. It was lunchtime.
I guess.
Like, we gotta get the fuck out
Matt-
of here, dude.
But anyway, I just thought you should know those are all real. I did not make that up.
I don't think you could pull off having a box of Rice Creepies in your pantry.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. Where do you store your cereal? Pantry?
Attic. What do you mean?
There was a
Trying to
whole
think of.
I got a
guess some
shed.
people do on
I got a
top of the
shed in the
refrigerator.
backyard.
yeah, on top of the
Some
fridge.
people do on top of the
Bomb
fridge.
shelter.
Some people do on a
Okay, there was a
drawer.
Golden Girls. I've probably seen collectively
It's called Golden Grams.
20 minutes of Golden Girls, the show. No, I've probably seen a few episodes, but there was one arc where they were arguing over where the cereal goes, and the three ladies.
Cutting edge comedy.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I know that. Forget their names. Like call them
Blanche.
Blanche, Ruth, and
Probably
Ziggy.
Rose. Ruth and Ziggy, probably.
I'm just kidding.
Probably.
They were arguing over where the cereal goes, and she was just like, "No, this goes in the cabinet in the pantry." Then you close it, and then the other lady takes it up. No, it goes on top of the fridge. And the other one was like, "No, it goes inside the fridge." And I went inside the fridge.
Yeah, that's poor comedy.
But
writing.
nobody cared. Like,
Yeah.
they just acted like that was normal. Who keeps their cereal inside the fridge?
Nobody.
All right, now we're turning into the Adam and Drew show. You're just replacing Love Boat with Golden Girls. But I agree with you. I've seen a lot of Golden Girls because that's my wife's favorite show.
It's your wife's favorite show?
It's up there, yeah. But she asked me to stop watching it, like
Because you just talk shit?
yeah, because I'll sit there and within 11 minutes I'm like, that didn't make sense. How are we cannot just move on to the third act now. Like, what are what are
Yeah.
you talking about?
You guys
Like,
should change it up and try some Matlock.
Blanche, yeah. And Betty White was a Golden Girl, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was Rose.
Rose is definitely one of them. There was like some super old lady in a wheelchair or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't in a wheelchair. She was just old.
Oh, jeez. See, my memory.
Wheelchair. They weren't that, they didn't.
I remember one was like mega old.
She was just old.
Yes, there was one that was significantly older than the rest.
Yeah.
All right, that's been Golden Girls Corner.
There we go.
Let's not make that a segment.
Thanks to any of our new listeners.
I don't know,
Welcome.
just Matt brought up cereal. It got
Matt brought up cereal, so naturally we're at Golden
Also,
Girls.
Tears in Heaven, Das. I love playing that song. Like it's actually it's a fun song to play.
No, it's
Without
not.
sad as it is. No, just the way you play it. But I can't ever play it live because it's such a downer. Who's going to want to hear that song
Yeah.
when you're
The fact that we all know that song, that it actually became a massive hit, and that the record label got behind it, that is also to me adds to the disturbing nature of the sadness of that song.
You gotta fire up the tempo on that one.
yeah, get a
Get an
little
EDM
Fucking
mix.
make it emo.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so sad that probably exists.
the EDM mix. Look, I took a pill in Ibiza. We had Mike Posner on the Adam Carolla show. Super sad song. Really effing sad song.
That is a sad one.
And then they added that they added that that beat, the techno beat or whatever, the remix C beat, and it became a banger. Freaking that song rules. 2, it's ironic because he's singing about the exact opposite of where that song would be being played, like at clubs and everything, and everyone just like not really understanding that he's a sad guy, but they're just singing the songs and dancing to it, and he's just making money, and it's not really what you want. And yeah, and it's just like, okay, that's ironic too. And it became an even bigger song because of that.
You want to ruin that song for yourself? Watch the Avicii documentary, which is the saddest shit in the world. And that song starts off with him being like, I was trying to impress this guy who ended up dying. Like, it's just...
Yeah. Fuck, man. All right. Well, anyway, let's get into... Are you all done with your Matt?
Yep, that was it.
That was
fondness?
good, man.
Thank you.
Thanks. Don't worry, I'll be back for another segment.
Outro.
All right, let's see here. Courtney Nagy, she says, she goes, Chris, or I'll just do the drop here. It's
Chris!
Go look at Ed Calderon's Instagram profile. He posted a video of a car being broken into, supposedly in the Bay Area. Is this yours? Courtney, no, that's not my car that got broken into, but it was a very similar, like it was just these two guys that just were pulling out suitcases out of an SUV and tossed it in their car, and they just sped off. And it's like, yeah, that's probably what happened to me, though. And I sent it to my buddy who was in the car with me. I'm saying, hey, man, everyone's sending me this video. Just kind of crazy, right? And he just goes, I'm triggered by this. Please. So, yeah, it's pretty sad. Nathan Chang says, I was quite amused by Kristen Dawson's reenactment of the foster parent Catholic Big Brother relationship. It was like you guys trained at the Groundlings or something. It made me literally LOL. Ha ha ha.
Nice.
All right,
It's
Nathan.
a little overdoing it. You know, literally, he used literally
LOL
and haha.
He lolled and ha-ha'd. He says we need more improv on the show. I love the comment. Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks,
I
Nathan.
Truly, I don't even remember what we said. But
I remember that it
appreciate
existed. I don't recall it being that funny.
But you've done 10 years of funny.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cody
It's just
Lorenzen.
a scant minute in my 10 years.
Cody Lorenzen, he created a poll, and he says, I love how different the crew is on this podcast. And then he asks the people in this... Oh, by the way, I should let everyone know, this is all in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. Love for you to join. Go to that link.
It's free, by the way.
It's free. Answer a few questions. We might let you in. My favorite place on the internet. Cody says, I love how different everyone on the crew is. Who, when listening to the podcast, do you say, quote, I totally would have said that?
Me.
Cody says, I'm Team Gary. So whenever Gary talks, that's kind of who he associates himself with the most. Do you want to hear the rankings? All right, I'm going to tell you them. Here we go.
Just silence.
I guess.
Sure.
I appreciate that so far
Might
the
as
guy's
well.
with me. So
Here's my question: Was Kalen an option? Because those
We
are...
all were options.
Okay, good.
We are all
'Cause
options.
that would immediately make the poll.
although it was weird because I saw this when it was posted in the Facebook group, and it defaulted to showing only 4 of us, and then you had to click a more button to get the 5th option.
Right, and the 5th option was Mike.
Yeah.
And the first comment was, who the hell is Mike?
All true. All
that's
true.
good. That's good.
Okay. In first place, the people that everybody kind of relate the most to.
We're going first? You're going to give us first?
Yeah,
Sure.
first.
Okay.
All right.
Matt Fondelier.
Hey!
So everybody said when they listen, like, oh yeah, when Matt talks, I would have said that.
Good.
Gary in second place. Then Chris.
I'm not going to cheer for myself, guys.
Okay, then
I'm not going to cheer for you either.
Good.
yeah,
Chris!
is in third place. Dawson in fourth, and we were all pretty close together. And the fact that Dawson was in fourth, and you had to click 2 clicks to even find him.
That's saying something.
I like that I'm out there. I'd rather
Yeah.
be in 5th.
You
I
don't
want y'all
want
thinking
to be
like me.
predictable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a fucking unicorn. Fuck
Oh, I'm
off.
predictable. That's what that means.
yeah. It's you're predictable.
God damn you, Chris.
Did Dawson just call
You're
himself a
every
unicorn?
man.
You don't
I
want to
did.
think just like
I
me.
did.
You don't want to take the bus like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's a good.
You don't want to get stuck up on the station.
Yeah.
yeah, you don't get someone on the stage singing "All I Know Is Sad Songs." in a distant fifth of Kalen. So I guess.
Yeah. Well, he's only on half the episodes now, and he's always been the random, the wild card. We don't know what he's thinking.
I enjoyed this poll though, nonetheless. Danny Feynman says, "I feel like the Payday candy bar doesn't get enough credit."
You're an idiot, Danny.
Wow.
It's all
Thanks for writing in.
It's all fucking nuts.
Thank you for subscribing to Patreon, though.
I think that's
Terrible
Danny the
candy
Jew.
bar.
We actually love him.
It has some caramel in it too, right?
It's terrible candy.
What's
bar.
wrong? What's your issue
Too many
with the Payday?
nuts, dude. Snickers has got the right amount of nuts.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you start making a candy bar that's like 90% nuts.
How you feel about
I'm out.
Reese's
That's
peanut
nuts.
butter cups?
Well, that's peanut butter.
Lots of nuts in that.
Not butter.
No, it's peanut butter
Made
cream
from-
stuff. It's not nuts though.
Peanut butter's not peanuts.
Let's not get into a whole there's
No,
no
it's
blue food.
made
Peanut butter's
of-
not peanuts. Dawson, you're telling me that
Okay.
chunky peanut butter doesn't have peanuts in it.
Okay, I'll tell you what, man. If I tell you to go get me the peanut butter, you gonna grab a fucking thing of nuts and hand it to me?
Depends how hard he wants to
Don't.
get your
Peanut
life.
butter is not nuts.
You've been being a dick that day?
Yeah. But I am on Team Dawson with this. I disagree
Hey,
with
Matt,
Danny.
Matt, you want some wine?
Yeah.
Here's some fucking grapes.
Yeah, dude.
You got nothing.
I disagree with Danny. I feel like the Payday gets just enough credit. It's peanuts stuck together.
I think
that
it's
is a
too
candy
much.
bar.
Yeah, it's too much credit.
Salty. It's good, but
Too
I don't
much
think.
credit.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to get more
They should
credit.
start calling the Payday the fucking high interest loan.
And there's no chocolate.
Fucking Payday.
Yeah, exactly. There's no chocolate on it.
$100,000
They should call
payday,
it- yeah.
high interest loan, lowest selling candy of all time.
Yeah, just there's a little chocolate
not
on
a
the Payday,
Payday,
I think.
man.
Yeah, it's not a Payday. All right, let's see. We got a couple more candy and peanut butter questions here. Steven Schumacher, he says, "What's the best PB&J ratio? 50-50, a little more PB than J, a little more J than PB, a lot more than PB. What do you guys think?"
Probably 60-40 favoring peanut butter.
I go 50-50, but a lot of each.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. In all my years having the PB&J, I never gave much thought to having more of one than the other. I just want to make sure there was a lot of both.
Yeah.
Well, 50-50 is in the lead, but I'm with Gary. A touch more PB than J. You don't realize it, but it adds a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would go there. That's
I
second
think
place.
I would do the opposite though. I would maybe give a little favor to the jelly because then you get the little squirt, the little mess part of it.
Yeah, but here's
know?
but the PB.
I'm going to throw some fucking nuts on a slice of bread and
yeah,
put a fucking apple in there.
do it.
Yeah.
And go, here, dude, here's a PB&J.
What's the apple for?
Well, you can make apple. Poor choice.
You know, very common
Poor
jelly.
Poor choice. I should have chosen. I should have chosen a
Strawberry.
fruit.
Strawberry.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, grape.
I got it though. It hurt.
Yeah.
Metaphor
It
still
was meant
works.
to. It was meant to.
But yeah, but the thing about the PB&J, the J can cut through the PB, like when you taste it, when you bite into it. So it
Can
cuts right
overpower
through
it.
it.
Well,
That's
Matt's an
great.
insane person because what he's saying is he wants to favor the jelly so that they can like drip and squirt
Yep.
and get everywhere.
That's
Basically, the exact thing that the world was trying to avoid when Uncrustables were invented.
Yeah, Matt,
Let me point you to a young entrepreneur. His name was Carl Jr. And he used to say that if it doesn't get all over the place,
Yeah.
It doesn't belong in your face.
In your face.
That's right.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
Carl Senior's looked
He
at him
used
as an
to,
embarrassment.
He used to hire spokespeople you couldn't hire today to say that.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, remember
I know
those
the guy. His
days?
name's Phil.
Respect all women.
That bought him 3 houses.
All right. Speaking of PB, Tammy Neely just wants to know, what do you prefer, crunchy or smooth? In the poll on Facebook, crunchy is at 40%, smooth is at 59%. That doesn't equal 100, but it's close. What do you guys think? What do you prefer? I prefer crunchy. I like a little texture.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just I
I think
will
that's the way
always
to
prefer
go.
crunchy.
That's the way to go.
I go smooth.
It's the connoisseur's
yeah.
peanut butter.
It really is. Yeah, it just shows you mean business.
Yeah,
I like to go crunchy because I like to remember what it's made of.
that's right.
Yeah, and I like to hear it. Why don't they do a Reese's with crunchy peanut butter? Would that not be?
I believe
Would
they
that
do.
not
Be
work?
the biggest seller of all time.
I believe they do or have done
Do.
a Reese's Crunchy.
Matt, did you do the doo-doo thing?
He did it. He just said it.
Let's see here. Eric Lepore, He wants to know, with all the effort that Matt Fondelier puts in his Fondleween decorating.
No, I'm laughing because Matt told me that he got home from his trip and was like greeted by this stark reality that they left the day before Halloween and all of their exterior shit has been up for the last week.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because Eric wants to know, I wonder how long does it stay up? I like to decorate for Halloween and Christmas, but the decorations usually come down as quickly as my wife will let me take them down. She likes to keep the trees up a bit after Christmas. What do the other Bobos do?
So for Halloween, I would definitely take them down pretty quickly after Halloween, within a couple days normally. But as Gary alluded to, we, for the first time in my life, out of town during Halloween. And so after an 8-hour drive, I saw the purple and orange lights from our fucking front yard glowing in the distance. And
Nice.
I just thought, we are about to walk into fucking Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm so tired right now. So
This is Matt Fondelier's Nightmare Before Thanksgiving.
pretty much. So tonight, as soon as we're done recording, I'm going to go home and fucking go clean up
They're
a bunch of
still
shit.
up?
They are still up. And then for Christmas, I will say we definitely will keep our tree through New Year's because it's fun to have it up at New Year's. But then once New Year's is over, that's it.
I think that's the rule, right? Christmas decorations, you can keep them up till New Year's, and then January 2nd is probably time to get out
Yeah,
there.
I'm not saying you party on New Year's Eve and then take it down that next day while you're recovering, but 24 hours, 48 hours later, you may as well. It's done.
It's got to be, you got to be done with it by the time you go back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that falls on the 4th, then I'll give you to the 3rd.
Yeah,
Enjoy your
I
weekend.
agree.
No
Is there
problem.
not a better way to let your neighbors know you're buzzkilled and start taking them down on the 26th?
That's a fair point.
What drives me crazy is that we have neighbors specifically who do an incredible Halloween thing in their yard, but they put it up on the 30th and it's still up, and they'll keep it up for like a month after Halloween. And I always just think,
No, they fucked
just
up.
put it up at the beginning of the month, man. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Well, there you go, Eric. Hopefully that helped. I doubt it did. Cynthia Forland and Austin Cacavo. Two separate comments, but they are both just stoked on the Smoke and Kills. Mike Dawson and the Smoke and Kills playing in Austin. Cynthia actually happened to be visiting Austin from Washington.
Yep.
She said her review is
Washington.
all one word, fan-fucking-tastic.
Thank you.
Nice.
Awesome,
3
love the
words.
set.
Saw you guys right in the front.
Yeah, so we got some Bobo boys out there right now. Cynthia and Austin just
I'm
pumped.
sorry we didn't get to say hi. But yes, I'll book something up there and I'll see you again.
They didn't bark at you?
No.
Cynthia, Austin, come on. Oh, geez, I was in... By the way, big ups to everybody in Baltimore and Philly. A
You
lot
know,
of
there
Bobo
are
boys out there.
actual adults who listen to this show.
Yeah, so we were Baltimore.
Not
Philly. The guy
everybody
barks
just
at a
barks
ton.
at people in public.
But there was one guy in Baltimore who, even during like Adam's set and like the opener set, his name was Umar Khan, really great comedian. This guy was just like making animal noises, like in the back, like obviously drunk. He's like in the middle of sets, and everybody's just looking back, like annoyed, right? Just annoyed at this guy, and he's just going nuts. And then show's over. I'm selling merch, and
What was your experience with that guy? Because you didn't pay to be there. You're not.
we all kind of
enjoying-
just power through.
Yeah.
We just power through. Like we are like, okay, let's not just
This is
make a
happening.
scene. The show's already going.
Yeah.
The wheels are in motion. Let's just power through here. And we did, and the shows went great.
Okay.
And then I'm at the merch table, and this guy just passes by, and he looks. He's like, "Chris, love you in the water cooler," woo, and he makes the noise that he's been screaming out during the set, and he's barking at me. And then there's these people buying merch, and they look back, and they're like, "What is that? The guy that was making the noise?" Then there's a little bit of a commotion at the merch table, and they looked at me. It's like, why was he doing that? Why is he doing that? And I just look like, I have no idea.
Chris,
Wow,
that's your
Chris.
moment to plug us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like hey, that guy who
They
everybody-
obviously don't know about the show because they don't know that.
Yeah, well-
And that was your chance, man.
But Dawson, I think that would have been a bad advertisement because
Yeah,
they
would've.
weren't happy with the guy.
Oh, there you go. Smart.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, whatever.
Maybe that's good, Chris. I don't know.
Barking.
Yeah. Well done.
Well, because he didn't do it. He didn't do it clean. It was just more of like
He was
we're
Ellen
like
Barkin, dude.
Yeah, it's Ellen Barkin.
Another one of our celebrity fans.
Yeah.
He was drunk barking, where it sounded more like. That's probably exactly what it
Casey
sounded like.
Peters. You got your homework.
George Lick.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. His friends call him George Riff.
Well, George Lick says, does anybody else think that Craig from Malcolm in the Middle looks like Matt Fondelier? I've been rewatching the series, and every time I see Craig, I think of Matt.
I don't think
Now-
I've ever seen a full episode of that show.
The reason I
I
bring
used to watch that back in the day.
I love Malcolm in the Middle. It really, I don't think it gets its due. I mean, it's a very successful show. Obviously launched a lot of careers, but it is hilarious, and I really miss it. Anytime like a rerun's on, I'll watch it. It's
Is it
really
streaming
clever.
anymore?
Well, it was on Netflix for a minute. I don't think it's on there anymore. Maybe on Hulu or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If it's anywhere else, I'll watch it.
But Malcolm in the Middle, do yourself a flavor. If you haven't watched it, it's so good.
For how much I
It's so
revere
good.
Bryan Cranston as like the best person in the world, I'm surprised I've never.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's one of the best parts of that show.
Yeah.
and the brothers in it, everyone is phenomenal. So do yourself a flavor. Malcolm in the Middle. Victoria Gabay says, what you missed at the meetup, the Mala meetup, a raccoonicorn. I forgot to share my terror corn as well. The dogs are still plotting their revenge. They love Patreon after was made.
Matt, I'll show you the picture later. I don't know. It might be right there. That's up to Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking at it right now.
But she made raccoonicorn costumes for her dogs and showed them live during the Mala Money meetup.
And the
That's
dogs were
amazing.
not happy.
No, the dogs weren't feeling it, but it was really
dogs
cute.
always love it.
They're fine.
They love it.
Chris.
But oh yeah, here we go.
You're wanting to dress up the taco?
He has.
Yes, many times.
As a taco.
Times.
I would go as
my
far-
wife has
I got a,
handmade costumes.
I got a Jingle Bell fluffy necklace.
Yeah,
That I put on Boo.
perfect.
And she fucking loves it.
Yeah.
She loves hearing jingle bells, but it's just like a collar.
Yeah.
You put a collar on a dog, and it's like the throne room in Star Wars. You know,
They feel they've been granted.
Luke getting a medal, and it's
good.
really cute to see her. She knows like it's a special time of year when I pull this thing out. And she's
Honestly,
like, oh shit.
you could do, as long as you're using that sort of behavior and making them very excited about it while you present it to them, you can get away with a lot of costumey kind of stuff. It's because you're excited about it that
That's
the
as
dogs.
far as I'll go.
All right, a couple more comments here before.
Thanks,
we
though,
do
buddy.
shape.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Kevin McCarthy, remember he wrote in saying that girl didn't call him back, and we were like,
Ghosted
"Man, chick sucks. She's ghosting you, dude."
Respect only.
Well, you know what we mean, but yeah, it's just that happens when you date. Like girls just ghost you. We were trying to make him feel better. Like, sorry, dude, she just sounds like some young millennial that just
Lies about turning off her phone.
lies about turning off her phone, and she didn't want to get back to you. Then you just got to live with it, man. Maybe you weren't that great yourself.
And that's where it ended.
That's where it ended. Well, he replied to our comments.
Uh-oh.
Kevin says, "Okay, after Dawson and Gary shat all over me, she called.
Hey!
She has been in the hospital." Oh,
Some other person commented after that what? They don't have phones in the hospital? Oh, yeah, okay. She should be calling this guy.
Yeah.
All right, now,
Dude, go
amazing.
easy.
in defense of Dawson and I,
amazing.
getting 3 out of 10 is Hall of Fame numbers in Major League Baseball. So we weren't going to hit them all. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We missed on this one.
I think the lesson here, Kevin, is to not invest emotionally too much in any of these exchanges.
Exactly.
That's really the key. Because take it from me, you get a lot of swing and a miss. Happens quite a lot.
Sure.
You can't let it bring you down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Kevin says anyway she gets out next week. Yeah.
Hey.
But he says dating still sucks. So.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Good luck, man. Casey Peters says the first question I ever asked my wife was, "What do you do for fun?" Now, we talked about how that girl wrote a blog about me saying, "Why do boys always have to ask, like, when you're on a date, why does that question always come up?" So, what do you do for a living? And, yeah, so Casey says, ask, what do you do for fun? It's a couple more words, but
That's good.
it's good. And, yeah, Casey says, I've never cared how people make their money, but people do enjoy themselves. And it's not only fun, but a great conversation starter. So there
Yeah.
you go. KC.
Although, to a certain extent, you need to know what people do. Because if somebody's like a waitress and they work nights and you work all day, that's going to be tough.
But it might come up a little more organically than you having to put them on the spot. I don't know. That blog traumatized
What do you
me.
do for a living? You're a waitress? What shifts do you work? I'm just trying to get this out of the way.
Get a discount.
Can I also have your social security number and address?
Yeah. So you're off tomorrow morning? Let's see here. And I think that'll be it for now.
All right.
All right, let's just do
It
one
sounds
more.
like you
One
really
last
are
one.
questioning whether or not you should
Well,
read
because
this
it's
last
Charles.
one.
We love Charles.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
of course.
Charles Alexanian.
Yeah.
He's been on the show before. I go to trips with him. He comes to our cruises.
All the events, yeah.
Yeah.
Charles
text
is the
him
man.
all the time.
So you were going to not read his comment because you're like,
Well, because
He's too good a friend.
I'm looking at the time. I know Dawson has to leave soon. Matt
Right.
has a Shea Fond du Lac for
I do.
days. And
Charles,
this-
that TV is entirely too small. Get a fucking giant TV. You built your house in a weird way where you can get 13 fucking
Yeah, so
miles from
basically-
where your TV is. Get an 85-inch TV.
Charles posted a picture of his TV and says, "My TV seems so small in the new house. What's the
Oh,
proper
yeah,
way
look
to
at it.
size a new TV?" And a lot of people actually chimed in trying to help him out because he had a lot of blank canvas.
He did have a lot of
On
blank
that wall.
canvas, and he also showed that you can get, his house has like a long distance, so if you can get 30 or 40 feet away from where this TV is going to be mounted.
why doesn't he need a TV? Just get one of those digital projector things.
No, those things look like shit. They're not. We're not there yet. Unless
Okay.
you can build a theater where you can isolate all the light.
Charles can build a
claw.
theater.
Charles can, but he's not going to. This is for his family room. Get
Theater.
an 85-inch TV, Charles. They're not that expensive.
5 inches. Woo!
The room's too big. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's not up to us, man. The
You
room's
should
asking
quadruple insulate the walls in your house and rebuild an extra layer so that the room's a little bit smaller, and then you can use the smaller TV, and you'll be warm and cozy.
Chris, you can read the rest of those if you want. I can be able to stick around for like 15 more.
Oh, great! Isn't it?
Minutes.
Is it ironic
Go ahead and cut off.
Don't you think? that we have these huge 85-inch TVs, 75-inch TVs, and most people, and I do believe most people, while they're sitting in front of these huge TVs, are really looking at an 8-inch screen during most of it. Does that bother you?
What does that mean?
Like everyone
People are on their phones while
Oh,
watching TV.
there we go.
Well, yeah, I see it all the time.
I like the fact that the phone provides ancillary research to what you're watching. It bothers me if you're on your phone on a game, but if we're watching something and you want to look up who directed it, or you want to look up you recognize that person's face and you're trying to figure out who that was in the cast, I appreciate having the phone for that.
So it's not. I'm looking at this small screen instead of the big screen. I'm looking at the small screen additionally
to
the big
enhance the
screen.
big screen, exactly.
Yes, I'm really getting more inches.
That's what I think.
Getting what?
Getting more inches.
Getting more inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of inches.
Dude.
You know,
Yeah, some
I
of the
just
stuff I
went with it,
watch
Gary.
just get more inches. What? You're getting more inches?
I'm good.
Yeah. How much you talking about, dude?
When you're like 5'2", that matters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of getting more inches,
I'm
there's
sorry,
one more poll
I'm
here I
sorry,
wanted
I'm
to.
sorry.
Speaking of getting more inches, there's one poll I missed. Peter Morris says, we all grew up with video stores, and I especially remember the mom and pop video stores.
Blockbuster?
Did your local store have the bead curtain or cowboy doors for its adult section, and which do you think is classier? You guys.
Bead curtain.
I've seen both.
I've seen both, but bead curtain.
Bead curtain, I've seen more because I think it's more effective.
It's more. It makes more noise, and that's
Yeah.
ultimately what you're looking for.
Although a pretty squeaky cowboy door is pretty rough as well.
I'm a fan of the saloon doors.
I love saloon doors as like front entrances.
Here's the problem.
I want saloon doors everywhere in my house.
Saloon
To
doors
every room.
are-
You
I
gotta walk
agree.
through these swinging doors.
But there's a problem with the saloon doors. They are
More than one.
much more dangerous than your normal door because it is next to impossible to walk by saloon doors and not kick it open Chuck Norris style.
Yeah.
wanna
You
do
know?
that. Yeah.
So please put them in your house, but you got to tape off some zones. Someone's going to they're going to lose a tooth.
Yeah.
I
And
do
that-
like the hippy dippy beads too.
They make
but I
the
feel
noise.
like when you go in there should be a hookah and a table when you walk through.
Ooh, watch yourself. It's
When
the
you walk through the
law.
beads.
Yeah.
Should be you're walking into a stoner room.
I like. Yeah, I remember people had bead
A
doors at their
sitar
house. And yeah,
plays.
those. You got some hippies. You just walk in. They kind of slightly massage you as you. As you walk
They're
through.
fun to walk in and out of. You
Yeah,
stick your hands
You know,
like
it's
that.
Almost like they transport you to another place.
Almost.
I think they transport
Oh,
you
but
better.
that only this one restaurant does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Peter, for the classier option, yes, cowboy doors are classier, but I think bead doors are more effective. Plus, when you're a kid, like the
You
people
can
you're
see
trying
through
to
the
keep
Are they
them
beads.
really
You can see
doors,
through the
though? Are they
beads.
bead doors?
Are we really calling them cowboy doors?
The swinging
going
doors
by what Peter
actually
wrote.
block some view. They actually have a purpose. You can
Yeah.
see through the beads.
That's
beads
true.
No,
are
I
about
could. I
making
was able to see
noise.
through cowboy doors, like because I was a little
See
kid.
through.
Under them is not through
Under them,
Yes.
yeah. I saw under them though. Yeah, as a little kid, I saw everything. I learned the most through that little hole.
But see, that's
That's when I
exactly
became a man.
That is exactly why the beads are the better device, because the kids can just duck under the door. You'll never have any idea.
Yeah, that's true, and it's silent.
You need the beads to go all the way to the floor so you catch those little rugrats.
Yeah.
You can't have them in there looking at that.
Why is it enforced in such a way that one should be embarrassed to walk into those sections? Why do they have
It's
to
not-
draw attention to it?
They're not there for embarrassment, but here's the thing:
For security?
law.
security,
It's law.
It's the law
It's the law.
that you need to have beads up to separate.
Or some kind of door.
Just
but
to-
you want it to be inviting. If it's a solid door, no one's going to go,
That's
what's
true.
on the other side of that?
yeah.
maybe a pocket door. Just slide it open.
No, it's got to be either beads or swinging doors. That's
Pocket
part
doors
of the
so
law.
it's
That's part of
done-
the law.
Okay, I get it now. So it's really just because they have to obscure the images from the rest of the store.
I think
It's
It
just
is
a touch of shame.
Obscuring that, but it's also so that the high school dropout that's working there can hear when someone goes into that section.
but
and
that's
make
what I'm
sure-
wondering. Why does the La Cucaracha horn need to go off
Because you don't
when
want
I walk in or when someone walks into that section?
because I don't want my 5-year-old wandering in there.
Okay, so they're there to make sure no minors are in
That's
that
what
section.
they should do. They should have a fucking bugle horn. You walk in. "Arrgh!" It does that. every
Someone's
time
in here,
someone
someone's
walks
in here.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I miss them. I miss the bead doors. Not video stores, but just like walking through them at people's houses and stuff. Those are the
We
days.
lost the cowboy doors in Tin Horn Flats.
Those are like our only cowboy doors, especially for front entrance saloon doors. Woo, damn man, I never even got to kick those things in. All right, well, those are our comments. Thanks everybody for writing in. Wow, we got some good comments this week.
Well done, everybody. Well done.
All right, Matt, you want to do some Shay before we
Please
before
allow me, if you will.
before we call it a day?
This
All
is
right.
a good one.
Oh no! What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, "Hey Matt."
What's on the menu?
All right, guys, we're talking Shake Tabro, part 1. I got
Oh, okay. I get it.
Shake Tabro.
Yeah.
so in Lake Tahoe on Saturday night. They have a thing called the Freakers Ball, which is a big costume party. I saw the pictures online. It just looked like, I mean, obviously not from 2020, but from other past years, this off-the-hook kind of party. My wife spent quite a long time over the past month making our Halloween costumes, which for the layperson are vampires. But if you want the specifics, Laszlo and Nadja from What We Do in the Shadows.
You're calling me Lay?
Well, I'm just saying, people who are in the know. If you know, you know, as the kids like to say these days.
I like IYK.
I like that expression. You like
YK.
I don't.
that? Okay.
If you know, you know.
No.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong
No.
with it?
It's not as good as
You know-
no or no.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
why are we attributing this to kids?
Let me tell you this.
It's become a
Matt,
thing, like colloquially.
Yeah.
Colloquially, a lot of people say
Yeah.
that now.
Doc-
Kids, it's how the kids
Didn't
talk.
know.
Yeah.
Matt,
No.
Gary just doesn't know. That's
That's
why.
mad. That's
No,
mad.
I know.
Gary just doesn't know.
I know.
You know. Gary doesn't know.
I do
That's
know.
mad fleek, bro.
Keep it Gucci, Dawson.
100. Yeah. All right, so this totally fire event. It's called Freakers Ball.
That shit
It's
slaps.
it's on Saturday night, but we're gonna get there on Sunday. We are missing the big Halloween party, but the actual Halloween is on Sunday. So I tell my wife, look, we're gonna put our costumes on, and we are just gonna go bar hop around the casinos. We'll go out for a fancy dinner, and that's gonna be our Fondleween this year. So we dressed up in our incredible costumes and walked over to the casino area on the Nevada side of the border. And I know that Gary may have brought this up on the Malo Money meetup, but we were the only people dressed in costumes. And the arena or the
That is strange.
the Lake Tahoe casino scene is one of the fucking saddest places I've ever been to in my life. I could not believe how desolate and like just deserted this entire place was. Now again,
Tears in heaven
there
and
was
speakers.
allegedly a huge Halloween party the night before. I find it hard to believe. I don't know who would have really
Dude,
gone
a lot
to
of
that.
Northern California is COVID afraid.
Well, the bar hopping scene was also completely disastrous. There's no like mixology cocktail bars. Not one. There's 4 casinos, and the only bar in each casino is like
The bar.
Right.
which there, you're getting whatever drink you have off the top of your head. You're getting, a C- or a Jack and Coke or something.
Didn't have
like that.
anything
what
with
kind
a
of-
fun name for
what kind of Empress do you have here?
names.
No fun.
I want to go fun cocktail.
Now it's no problem for me because I'll just order a Manhattan and I'll be happy.
There
But
you
my
go.
wife,
Like,
How do you
what?
take your
What's-
Manhattan?
what's a
What do you-
Manhattan?
how do you-
Straight up.
How do you like it?
straight up, little bit of the vermouth. I guess your standard Manhattan. You don't need to do anything too fancy to
No,
it.
I do mine over.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like
Always.
it. They want to
you-
do one giant cube. I'm fine with that, but I prefer it straight up like a martini.
Do you like Manhattans because that's what Bart Simpson specialized in when he
Wow.
was making them for Fat Tony?
Maybe subliminally, yes.
Okay.
But it just stemmed from liking the old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
Really, first drink was like Jack and Coke, and then that kind of transitioned into the old fashioned. And then the old fashioned, a lot of times, is too icy, it's too watery, it's too sweet. I just started drinking the Manhattan. My wife, because again, this is a date. This is date night. I want to make sure she's having a good time too. She has a hard time when there's no drink menu. Her like standard drink would just be like a gin and ginger ale, but it's like a fun night. She wants to do something fun, so she ordered a Negroni, which is a pretty standard cocktail. It's kind of like honestly,
that was
it's
a beer.
It's not. It's almost like a Manhattan, but you make it with gin and Campari. It's a little bit sweeter. But I watched this bartender make this drink that clearly nobody has ordered a Negroni in this bar for 50 fucking years. And I watched him do, I don't know how to describe this for the audio listeners, but he kind of winked one eye and kind of slowly judged how much to pour out. And I just put it down in front of Julie, and I was like, well, good luck with that. And he made it extremely strong. I don't know if it was good, but we got fucking loaded.
You got a jabroni Negroni.
We went to did not play any card games because again it was too sad. But I did play some skee ball. We played some drunk skee ball in the arcade, and it was pretty awesome.
No,
I thought you were saying
wanna-
in the casino. I was like, what the fuck kind of a place is this?
What is your skee ball? What's your skee ball skill here? Or do you go for the 100 in the corner, or do you go straight down the middle, thinking let's just be
Straight
real
down
here?
the middle, let's be honest. Occasionally toward the end, like game 4, I start to get a little wild with
I
it.
always
You
go
go
for the
for the
100.
100 after you have a secure lead, though.
I always go for the 100, and I lose all the time.
No.
But it's there.
All right, so we had dinner
Sucker's
reservations. We had dinner reservations at 8:30 because in my mind we are going to be bar hopping for like 3 hours, and by 7:15 we were done. There was nothing else to see.
Oh,
Like we had done everything.
There's only 3 hops.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just go to this dinner early. Let's just show up. I'm sure they're going to seat us. There's nobody here. Like, how are we going to have to wait? And we walked into the steakhouse in full fucking vampire costume. And I swear to God, the host gasped. When we walked in, they were like, "Ugh," like they didn't know what to do. And I was like,
I thought you were a real vampire.
you know, like,
Yeah.
so we got.
Please tell me you did actually do it in that voice.
I did not do
Two
actually,
for
that was-
dinner.
Yes, I would like 2 drinks for
How is
dinner.
your blood?
We got seated.
No garlic.
We got seated in like a private booth with red leather.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah, we've all seen the fucking picture.
I saw the tweet.
Please seat us away from everyone.
I did the whole order with
You
the
please take one photo that I will send to my friends and then recycle for the internet.
So I did the whole order with the vampire teeth in the whole time. The waiter was definitely confused and like trying to play it cool. Here's what we got though. We started with the Lobster Escargo style. So if you can picture an escargot tray, those with the little divots that would normally have the snail in it, instead they were scoops of lobster, and they came out like piping hot with all the oil and stuff. Fresh bread to kind of dip up in the oil.
Are they lobsters from the lake?
I doubt it. Okay. I don't know.
Lake lobster?
They
I don't know, I'm just
Lobsters
checking,
don't
bro.
exist in the lake now. They're saltwater creatures.
Allegedly.
Yeah, don't eat lake lobster.
Crawfish. Crawdads.
Yeah, those are stream lobsters.
Yeah.
Creek
I
lobsters.
like lake lobsters.
We then split a 14-ounce veal loin chop.
7 and 7?
So you had
Yep, 7-7.
You had both water food and land food.
The guy asked me how I wanted it cooked, and I said rare. And he, again, did a double take, and I was like, no, I'm kidding. Medium rare is fine. The veal was served with brandy and morel mushrooms. They came with incredible asparagus, scallop, potatoes, just some of the best like steakhouse sides I've had in a really, really long time.
When I get veal, I like to make sure that the cow was really tortured.
That's the way you go for it?
You know?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about
'Cause
that.
You can taste those tears.
Well,
cow tears taste so
Jesus
good.
Christ. Well, let me just say, we did not order dessert, but they gave us dessert. I like to think because they had a good time with us.
Stuffed it with garlic.
But this was a very odd dessert. I never had this before. You've all had chocolate covered strawberries before. These were strawberry covered strawberries. So instead of the chocolate sauce, picture like that Nestle
That's
Quick
just a strawberry.
Strawberry, but picture like that Nestle Quick like strawberry.
So they took strawberries and fucked them up.
Exactly.
that
They
like-
kind of like fucked up strawberries. It was a
That
little
strawberry-
strange.
They had something that was pretty cool, and
All right,
they were like,
chef.
hold tight, I'm
Yeah.
going to fuck
What?
this up, and we're going to give it to
Exactly.
the fucking vampire people for free.
All right, chef, put your thinking cap on. What can we flavor these strawberries with?
Who's
I
it,
know.
What table's it for?
Yeah, go, chef.
Strawberries?
Fuck it, it's lunch, dude. Let's go. Yeah, do it.
Let's
Strawberries.
I don't think he was listening though.
No, I
Anyway,
what he did.
it ended up being an amazing meal, and it was our first full day and full night there. So we still had this entire vacation ahead of us. So feeling very optimistic, despite the fact that nobody was dressed up. It was very surreal, but we had a great time, and that's what's on the menu.
Yes. I love it. Oh man, chapter 1 in the books. And
I just like how Matt's harkening back to like the time when there was bounty in front of him.
Yes.
It's the undertone of like, now I'm here.
I'm glad to be here. I really
I
did
know
miss
you
you
are,
guys.
buddy. I'm just
glad you-
kidding.
I'm glad
We're
that
happy
you're-
to have you.
That you're, yeah, we're happy that you joined us. All right, well, that will do it for today's episode of Watercooler. Thank you, everybody, for listening and for being a part of this show. Let's go around the horn and get some plugs, and then we can GTFO. I'll start with Mr. Shea himself.
Yeah. Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you can see a picture that was also texted to some close friends of mine. That's at Matt Fondelier. And Sword and Scale Rewind, still going strong.
Yes,
And yeah, we got some great fucking episodes coming up. That's Sword and Scale Rewind.
with recent Watercooler guest Ian Bag.
That's right.
Yeah, make sure to check that out. It's actually very funny,
Oh, thanks.
considering the subjects that they talk about.
That's true.
Gary, so what you?
Subscribe to Reasonable Doubt and check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt Podcast. We changed things up a little bit and went back to something we were doing a few months ago where the Reasonable Doubt Podcast YouTube is where you can catch Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, and then the big show is on Adam's main YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed to both of those.
Boom, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, and they talk. I mean, every show's interesting. Doss, how about you?
Bringing the band to the Mint on December 3rd. I know Victoria Gabay already bought her tickets.
Ooh.
And some other people already bought their tickets, but I would love to see you guys out there. And if you do come out, I will buy you a beer. I throw a credit card down at every show, and I you know, there ain't no barking rules. Just don't bark at me. I'd love to buy you a beer. And the band is fucking great, so come out and see us play.
And that's
December 3rd,
December
the Mint.
3rd at the Mint.
Tickets are cheaper if you buy them in advance.
Buy them in advance, everybody.
Save $4.
Also, follow Dawson on Twitter at Dos Angeles. He's done 10 years.
10 years of
Of
funny.
funny.
10 years of funny.
All right, and as for me, I'm playing. My band Loxy is playing at Tantalum this Wednesday for a few hours, and then I'm playing at Marina Wine this weekend in Long Beach, Friday night and Saturday night. So come say hi, and then also check out the Jam in the Van set. If you haven't, leave some barks in the comments there and confuse the Jam in the Van people. Really appreciate it. All right, and that will do it for today's episode of Watercooler. We'll see you later this week for Patreon. We love you. Goodbye.